I'm Jordan Turbyfill, owner and operator of One Contract Flooring, um, and we are located in Austin, Texas. And we do high end luxury work with custom builders and designers in the Austin area. We also occasionally will do direct to homeowner, but a lot of the times there's are designers.
Okay.
So basically you focus on more on the higher end of construction, basically.
Yeah, trying to do more detailed, taking our time, enjoying what we're doing, putting passion into it, and doing it the right way to where it's done one time, and it's not gonna leak. It's not gonna be the wrong pattern. It's not gonna be the wrong grout. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's
Right.
just taking the time to like actually, make sure like doing grout samples, stuff like that. Doing sealer samples, uh, wood stain samples, just verifying everything, triple checking that the client is getting what they actually want.
Mm.
If
Now
we gotta
how
like, some, I was gonna
You
say
take on kind
sometimes
of like a
we'll like.
one-on-one thing with the customer.
Yeah, I try to. Whether it be like the designer, if she has like a specific look that like she's really going for, then of course, my goal is going to be to make sure that's accomplished. Um, and sometimes it'll be like stone tile. A lot of times, stone tile, you're going to want to lay out everything, see everything you got before you even start, so you can kind of pick and choose where you're going to put like some of the dark tiles, if you're even going to put some of them, or stuff like that. You just kind of want to see like the whole dialog of tile that you received, kind of like in that shipment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
now how did you get to this point? Like from the beginning to now, how did you land in this career?
So I was working, this is kind of crazy, I was working for this guy, this company called the Marshall Group, in let's see, in California, and basically, he owns, designed and built the house that's on The Bachelor, and
Hmm.
Oh wow.
which I mean, everyone knows like that house. That house is beautiful. Like everything about that house is incredible. Um, but we worked on a lot of like high end restaurants. We worked on a lot of like high end like breweries, stuff like that, where it's like super like niche, like detailed, you know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I just kind of saw how they like ran and like managed that, and then we started working on a big project that was called Two Bit Circus in downtown LA. And that project was through like I think Atari was funding that as well. And so you start to see like, um, dollar amounts and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, um, what's what's enjoyable? Like that portion being like a superintendent for a GC, to me wasn't very enjoyable. And then I saw that the tile crew uh, came in, and they were just so detailed and like laid back, and kind of like artists, and they just like dotted up the bathroom in this place, and it just really like inspired me to kind of like dive into that and learn more about that. um, and sure enough, I got an opportunity to work for a company called Spectra Contract Flooring, which is like
Mhm.
one of the larger tile contractors, like nationwide. And I was getting trained, or I got trained there by their number two. His name's Paul Menestrelli, which I mean, I gotta give all the credit to that guy. He took so much patience in training me, um,
Mhm.
that like he would teach me about diet. He would teach me about um, his like daily routines. He would teach me about like uh, time clocks or time blocking, my schedules and stuff like that. He taught me how to do takeoffs. Um, he taught me pretty much everything. So I got to give all the credit in the world to that
Yeah.
guy. To be honest,
That's
he
pretty
was
cool to
so
be a
so
mentor or somebody to be
patient.
able to teach you, somebody that would be able to teach you not
Oh yeah,
just the trade itself, but everything outside of that. It's super beneficial.
Yeah, man. It's like
yeah,
this guy
totally.
was a ultimate mentor there.
Yeah, I mean, because not,
Yeah, he's
somebody can teach you the trade, but nobody can teach you how to fit your entire life in that trade.
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's
but yeah,
pretty
to
crazy.
me,
And
like tile and hardwood is the most interesting of all the trades, because it's like it's the finish that kind of goes in. So everyone gets all excited about it. Everyone loves seeing the tile going in, um, and yeah, it's just being able to see the final product inside a house. Whereas like earlier in my career, I did like low voltage. I tried HVAC. I tried a couple other things as well. And you don't always get to see like the awesome HVAC ducts or stuff like that you're working on in the attic. Whereas with tile or hardwood, it's like you're working on it every day. So it's important to put like fine details in.
It's very
Yeah, for
fulfilling, that's
sure,
for
man.
sure.
yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
the tile and the wood, and also like painting fall in the realm. Like you could build a house and make it nice, but these are the ones that make it pretty. Until you see a
Yeah,
bathroom tiled in
Yeah.
and dialed in, it won't look pretty. You could frame it nice, you could do all those wonderful things. But painting, plaster, tile, hardwood floors, those are like the finishers, the closers.
yeah. I've heard one person put it in a way in the past of we're kind of like in the fashion industry of the construction world.
Mm.
Like
Right.
we deal with all the bougie, the high end, all the flashy stuff that the people that the people get to see. But I mean, it's like you said though, Jordan. Nobody really sees the hard work that goes into the HVAC and all of that stuff, man. They just care about what it finally looks like when it's all said and done, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. HVAC is like the hardest trade because like you put in so much work, but the only thing that they care about is if that air is blowing on them.
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah,
work?
How it looks, nothing.
Right. Like you
So
put up
does
the
it
hardwood.
work?
Right. Because I believe it or not, I did sheet metal work for like about a year. I knew how to break, how to cut stuff, how to put it together. And like they don't care as long as that little grate at the floor looks nice. They don't give a damn about
yeah,
what's underneath it, how nice you make it, perfect, level, plumb. They don't care. They're never gonna see it.
yeah.
So
Never
yeah, no,
gonna
that's
look
why
at it.
HVAC.
Never gonna look at it.
Right. So that's pretty much why. Like I ended up falling into tile work because I'm a plumber by trade. And yes, plumbing is nice, but again,
Yeah,
once they close the walls, you're never gonna see this stuff. Unless you go and look at your boiler and you're like, wow, this boiler is beautiful. Look at all the pipes perfectly lined. But other than that, nobody really
Yeah.
cares. You know
And
what I
dude,
mean?
I'll be honest, like, yeah, your guys videos and stuff doing some like a little bit of the other stuff like the plumbing or the electrical. It's been so inspiring for me to watch. I've been like trying to do some of that stuff at my house and just trying to get like back into it and just learning anything and just trying, and you fail and then you just keep trying and you fail and you keep trying. So
I mean, the internet has made it
it's a
so much easier for us to learn from
Yeah.
others. You can watch Ferry and learn taping and mudding. You can watch Donnie; he'll teach you everything about
oh yeah.
LVP. You know, and you got Jeremiah could teach you about large panels, and I just fit in between whatever I can do. You know, the plumbing
There you
aspect
go.
is my major. Plumbing is my major. You know, any questions I can answer you at a distance. That's how much I've done it with plumbing. You know,
Yeah.
and how it work now. But
So
yeah, no,
you
and,
kind of got into the high end market of this thing with your own business of doing it for yourself. You kind of, I don't want to say fell into that, but you were already experiencing that with other company beforehand before you went out on your own.
Yeah, yeah. So when I worked at Spectra, a lot of the a lot of the work that we would do was like although it was commercial, it would be like a high-end condo or hotel building where the lobby's like all stone, marble throughout. The amenity spaces are like all different tiles where it's like the details have to be all lined out and hit for it to close or look good. So having that just really got me into more so of the detail side of it and the high end side of it. And then when I moved out here, basically I moved out here because of my wife. We met long distance, and she gave me the ultimatum, and I found a job working for a flooring contractor out here, and started trying everything I could to help them grow, and basically from there just decided I wanted to kind of take my own path to where I can like um, make sure I'm leading the team the direction that I want them to go, and just
Yeah.
kind of handling everything how it should be handled, like the right way, and
Yeah.
and facing your problems when they come up, and making sure to go repair anything if it's not to code or to the standard that it should be, or even being one step ahead of it and actually catching it like while they're installing, and helping them like point out like, hey, I think we could possibly fix this real quick before the thin set dries, like let's pop it,
Yeah.
just trying to do like
Do you
little
work
stuff
with
like
a
that.
designer,
Me?
or is that, or do you work with an in-house designer, or you do the designing, or do you work with other designers?
Most of the time it's just other designers. We just work off of like their design. I've seen so many different things. I know, what's gonna look good, what's not gonna look good. Obviously the different types of profiles, Schluter or tile trim, or doing a miter edge, or just trying to help guide them. And not necessarily sell them on it, but just knowing and having pictures of the different details, just kind of pointing out like, hey, do you want it like this, or do you want it like we can do, you know, um, this is this,
Right.
or
Yeah, I mean, having a portfolio
which way?
helps out a lot to show them.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I run into
exactly.
that issue too when because I don't work with designers. I am the designer. So when
Yeah,
I see
same
that
here.
they're like, oh, what looks good? I was like, well, I can show you all the bathrooms that I've done, and we can either mash it up, do the same thing, You tell me what you kind of have an
Yeah.
idea. I'll tell you where we can go with it, what's good, what's not. Because some people are like, oh, I want slated tiles on the shower floor. I was like, you might want to reconsider that.
Yeah.
Can we do it? Yes. Is it going to require a lot of maintenance? Absolutely. You know, and it's good to have like Instagram and Facebook. They a lot of my newer customers have actually sat on those profiles for about a year before they decided to give me a call. And they're like, listen, we've been watching you. We see the work. We see how you do the progress. And that's why Instagram and like your company too, people see that. And I guarantee you, if you ask one of your customers, you're like, have you seen my profile? And I guarantee you, they'll be like, yeah, I've been watching all the videos. And
Hmm.
that helps them decide too,
Totally.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and
So
even just to go off of what you're saying, just recently, like past, I'll say probably past at the beginning of the year, I decided I was gonna try and be more proactive on social media and just post more daily of like what we're doing daily instead of just the finished product, you know? And
mhm.
I've definitely had a lot more people calling and telling me, "Hey, I'd love to, I saw you on Instagram. I'd love to get you in to measure our floors or whatever." And even just today, that I had somebody call and say that. So yeah, I'd say it definitely helps to put yourself out there and put your face in front of it. You know, uh, for me, it's hard. I've struggled with that because it's hard. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
Not a
man.
natural
We all
feeling,
have to
like.
learn, we all have to learn how to do social media. It took me 3 years to say I'm like mediocre at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
Right.
it's you just
yeah.
want to
You're
like,
you're you're so smooth. You're so smooth.
oh, I'm far from there. You want smooth, you go to top, bro. That dude can do it. Like that's my
Yeah.
goal. I can do videos
Yeah.
like he does, like
Oh
take a
yeah.
week off and actually
Oh
do
his
one
yeah
video.
yeah. His
So yeah,
videos
it's
are
it's
epic.
crazy. But I like I said, I do it because I did it because it was fun. I thought it was fun. It was like, let me, and I also use it too as a reference point. There's times where I have to install things. I'm like, wait a second, where the hell did this pipe land? And I go back to my videos and I'm like, oh, it's right there. So I use it as a reference point too at some point.
So I wanted to ask you with I don't know how long you've been in Austin, but you're dealing with designers and things like that. I've only dealt with one time,
Mhm.
and it was a terrible experience because she thought she could tell me how I was supposed to do my job.
Mhm.
And I wanted to know if like what your experience has been with designers and if you've had any kind of bad experiences with them as well.
I mean, yeah,
Hmm.
I would say that there's good and bad experiences with anything. You're gonna find a bad designer or a bad builder. If you're working with builders, you're gonna find bad builders. You're gonna find the good ones too, but chances are, it's tough to find good ones. But at the same time, I think I try and approach everything like open-minded, and I try and just show as best I can that we know what we're doing. We're educated in the installation methods and standards, and we're trying to do all of those as best as we possibly can on every single shower pan, and then showing the pictures and kind of like building the trust with them. You gotta like uh, kind of like show them and kind of like engage and get like I'll like get all down and like show them like, hey, look, like right here we're gonna do this. This is gonna be mitered right here, and I'll show them exactly like just trying to take. Some people don't have the time or the care to like look into our stuff as deeply, but they know what they want it to look like because of course they're going to see all the best pictures of
Mhm.
the best tile work, so everyone's expectations always like perfect tile, and then you
Yeah.
have like half the pictures that people post or like magazines and stuff is like photoshopped and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
you know, people's minds are immediately, um, I would say, kind of, yeah. It's like
Easily
they,
stimulated.
yeah, and they have this like this built up image of just absolute perfection, which, you know, obviously that's what we're striving for always, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But the path to get there is not always easy, and it's not always quick. Um, and you know, that's what takes time and money, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, I've always viewed that whole designer and contractor slash installer relationship. I kind of always
mhm,
viewed it as like the architect and the engineer. The architect makes this beautiful, rendering and drawing, and this is what it wants to look like, and the engineer goes, okay, but this is what it's going to look like, right? You're gonna get this, this, and this, but this is not going to happen the way you want it to. It's going to have to happen this way for it to work, and blah. That's the way I've always kind of viewed it.
yeah, like
So.
one of the designers that Goat Tile is working with,
Mhm.
I've done one of those houses, or a house with her design work. I never met her personally, but you know, we exchanged emails of the details of the tile work that she wanted specifically. And I think, you know, just having an understanding of all of the level of details that can be put into it. So when you do come across a designer, you can kind of tell, you know, it's same thing with like tile work or with anything. There's going to be levels of a designer or of a builder that, you know, um, some builders may have like onboarding stuff. Um, but I would say, like, for you guys, 100%, I would try and find a designer locally and just, you know, kind of build that relationship and, you know, let them know that your goal is to do great work and you want to be there to like communicate and do projects well for them and help them achieve like their goals of clean images of their design, you know? And
Mm.
with that, like that's just another stream of revenue where they're gonna, you know, they're gonna get clients coming in, hey, I want some bar backsplash tile or you know, anything. And
Specialty.
yeah, specialty stuff. Uh,
Right.
or higher end stuff.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the higher end stuff is typically going to have a designer on it. Um,
Well, I
so I
mean,
would,
most of I find it, or at least I think, is even like so levels. I mean, you got the low grade, which is your mom and pop homeowner type level. You got the mid grade, which is like, yeah, I got some money, but it's still not going to be a 60,000, $70,000 bathroom. And then you got the high end where it's here's my designer. I'll be there
You
when
make
it's
it
done.
happen. Yeah,
You
make
know
it
what I
happen.
mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
So like, for me, I'm still like, I guess in the lower grade, starting to creep up towards the mid grade stuff where it's like, this is what I want. Okay. And, I tell them the price and they're like, okay, so how long is it going to take versus the typical, oh, that's kind of high, or man, this is too much for us right now. So, there's levels to this, obviously. So you
yeah.
can't jump
And
on to that.
there's even like levels to like what you just said. Like I experienced this a couple weeks ago. Um, I went to go do some tile work at a customer's house. We were doing a sauna that was for like an upcoming event. And I saw a guy that I thought was like the homeowner, and this was all through a builder. So, you know, I wasn't trying to necessarily interact with the homeowner, but he approached me and was like, um, "Hey, you know, how's it going? You know, what are you here to do?" And I explained to him, you know, what our job was, and then he explained to me he was the owner's rep So he was basically just
Damn.
living in the owner's house, representing him, and driving his vehicles and stuff like that. And yeah, it was like, wow.
That's awesome.
This
I'm the
man's
owner's
this
rep.
man's
I
in
want-
all the gated communities.
Yeah, I'm the owner in command.
Yeah, it was like,
But, like,
I
that's
was
Power
like,
of
wow.
attorney.
But also when you reach, I guess, levels like that, and my I guess understanding is like you're gonna operate way different than what we're normally used to. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
because I've gone to houses and worked like in our area is called Armonk, and Harry knows that area. It's big bucks. You know what I mean? Gated community, 3, 4, 5,000 square foot homes for two people with like 9 bathrooms.
There you go.
That was my job. I used to have to go and run their bathrooms so they don't break down because they wouldn't get to them
Oh
every
my
year.
God.
Like it's crazy money there. So when you go there, and I saw this guy doing a piece of molding on a staircase that had a round piece of sheetrock that they just
Oh,
finished doing. Round. I mean, this thing had a nice
Oh.
radius. He ripped while I was there. He must have ripped that piece of molding like at least 10 times. And and
mhm.
she was like, "Nah, it's not good. Take it out." No, it's not good. Take it out. And like this man was like, and I asked him, I'm like, yo, dude, like, how frustrated are you? He's like, absolutely not, because every time I rip this out, there goes another change order. There goes another change order.
Yeah.
And he was like, and she doesn't care. At the end of the day, she's like, here's the card on the table. Just let my guard know you're on the way out.
Yeah.
Like they don't care.
And I kind of have a customer close to that now. I mean, he's definitely not on the high end of things, but he's actually a brick mason, so he's a contractor himself. And he's done work for my weekend job. He did the foundation work, and he's seen my tile work. And he just said, "I want you to do it." That's just straightforward. I walk in with the contracts. He just signed it. Didn't even look at the price. He wrote the check. He was like, and I'm asking him, "Hey, do you want this? You know, we have this situation. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this?" He's like, "Whatever you think is best, do it. If it's a change order, you know, throw it at the end." I know the guy pretty well, so I wouldn't have to get a signed change order from him. But he's like, "Just throw it at the end, and I'll write you a check." And so far, he's left the check open.
For me, it would be an adjustment as far as like you said, seeing numbers that high. You know what I mean? And seeing that kind of a price, it's just a different mentality. And also times, because most of the customers that do those kind of high end work, they're not on a time constraint either. Usually, usually those are like third, fourth, fifth, or tenth homes. So it's not like, oh, I have to get this bathroom done within 3 weeks. You know,
Totally.
they just
Right.
they just care about the final result. So having that adjustment too, that's what I say there's levels to this. Because if you start at the top, especially being your own owner, like working for somebody, they've already established it. They know the routine. They bring you into it. But like me, just jump in there and go to a house and the guy's like, "Yeah, I want $100,000 bathroom." I'm gonna not sleep a few nights knowing like, am I gonna be able to deliver this?
Yeah, yeah.
Can I do this? Like then you start questioning all that you do. You're like, man, maybe I bit off more than I can chew. Like I need to chill. Like let me go back to these $20,000 bathroom.
Oh yeah.
So I
I
think
was
that's gonna be an adjustment.
I had a builder send me plans and selections to like do full turnkey on a house, and I priced out just one shower surround, and it's literally just a typical size shower, 36 sidewalls by 60 back wall and 10-foot ceilings. Just the tile for me to purchase was $64,000.